Warm greetings of the day. Hope all of you are doing fine. I am Debashruti Bera, and in this video I am going to discuss the topic that deals with chances and certainty. Now in the newspaper there is one section where it tells the weather forecast. It tells sometimes that there is 80% chance of getting rainfall today. But how do we measure such chances? Do you know what is the theory that is used here? The theory is known as probability, and this is the topic we will learn today. So let's start. Now before learning probability, we need to learn certain concepts. The first one is random experiment. Now everyone knows what is an experiment. An experiment is something that gives us some results or outcomes. Please note we will use outcomes instead of result in this chapter. Now in scientific lab we use some experiments to get some results and we get the same result over and over again. For example, if we measure this scale, it will give 15 centimeter every time. But in case we have a coin, we toss this, we may get a head or a tail. This is not a normal experiment. This is known as random experiment because we actually know the possible outcomes, but we don't know exactly what we will receive from this. So this is an example of random experiment. And what is random experiment? Random experiments are experiments where the possible outcomes are known, but we don't know the exact outcomes. So that is a random experiment. And what is an example? It is tossing a coin. So the first example is tossing a coin. The second example is when we throw a die. How many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We may get any of the numbers, right? So that is also a random experiment. So throwing a die is another example. The second concept we will learn is events. And what is events? Event is the outcome of a random experiment. So if we toss a coin, then what we will get? Head or tail? So H, T are the events of tossing a coin. H denotes head, T denotes tail. And what are the events of throwing a die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the events of these random experiments. Now we have learned these two terms. Now we will discuss about the definition of probability. Now what is probability? The probability of an event A is defined as P, in braces we write A. A is the event. Okay. So PA is equals to number of outcomes favorable to the event A divided by the total number of possible outcomes. This is the definition of probability. Now what is favorable event? Suppose in the cricket match, the cricketer wants a head. That is the favorable event. So if I suppose that getting a head is the favorable event here, what will be the probability of this event? So this is the favorable event here. How many of the events are there favorable to this tossing a coin? Only 8. So how many of them? 1 only. So it will be 1. And the total number of possible outcomes is H, T. So there are in total 2 possible outcomes. So the denominator is 2. Hence the probability of getting a head is half. Also, if we want the probability of tail, it is also half, right? Similarly, if we want the probability of getting a 4 when we throw a die, what is the probability? It is 1 by 6, because there are in total 6 possible outcomes, and how many favorable are there? 1 only. So it is 1 by 6. So in this way you have to find the probability of an event. Hope you have liked this video. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, do ask me in the next class. Thank you so much.